ti sánmọ̀ méje wá. Agbára ńlá òtítọ́ tó ti sánmọ̀ méje wá. Agbára ńlá ló jẹ́, agbára ńlá ló jẹ́. Agbára ńlá òtítọ́ tó ti sánmọ̀ méje wá. Agbára ìṣẹ́gun ni fún wa. Ẹ̀tàn mọ́lẹ̀ òtítọ́, ẹ̀yin màlàíkà mímọ́. Ẹ̀tàn mọ́lẹ̀ òtítọ́, ẹ̀yin màlàíkà mímọ́. Ògo ni fún Baba, ògo ni fún Ọmọ. Ẹ̀tàn mọ́lẹ̀ òtítọ́, ẹ̀yin màlàíkà mímọ́. Ògo ni fún orúkọ rẹ̀. Ègbé ni f'Èṣù, ègbé ni fún Èṣù àti fún iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ rẹ̀. Ègbé ni fún Èṣù àti fún iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ rẹ̀. Bàbá ti gégùn fún, ọmọ ti gégùn fún. Ègbé ni fún Èṣù àti fún iṣẹ́ ọwọ́ rẹ̀. Ègbé ni fáwọn tó tẹ̀lé. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Glory to God in the highest. We thank the Lord for allowing us to be in His presence on this Power Day. This is the second Friday of the new year 2019. We started the year with the Lord in the sanctuary, and we're believing that the Lord will walk every inch of the way throughout this 2019 with all of us. That God shall promote us this year from glory to glory, promote His church, bless His people. And this evening we are reading from the book of Psalms. This psalm was written by King David. And it starts by saying, "Fret not thyself because of evil doers." There are two key words there, fret and evildoers. What does it mean to fret? It means a state of anxiety. It means an unsettled mind. A mind that's worrying. So don't worry. Don't be afraid. Don't be anxious because of evildoers. Some people are more worried about witches than of God. Because it's very specific, evildoers. Now, don't worry about them, whether they're witches, wizards, whether they're planning against you. Or some people spend all their time. This is why some people go to join cults, and get protection. Why? Because they don't want anybody to kill them. So they go and join a cult and get protection against accidents, against bullets, against cutlass, all these things they do. Why? Because they're afraid of evildoers. They go and do magic that when an accident happens, they disappear and appear somewhere else. All these things are because of evildoers. Why should we not worry about evildoers? Because we serve a God that is above every God. Say, he who is with us is more than those that are against us. One with God is a majority. The only person you need in your life really is God. If you have God, you have everything. That's why it says, seek ye His kingdom and His righteousness, and all other things will be given to you. And we're going to read about that later. You see, because we belong to God, and God is the God of creation. He made everything. All principalities and powers are under Him. So because of that, you don't have to worry about them. In fact, the Bible says that don't worry about those who can destroy the body, and that's all they can do, but worry about the person who can destroy the body and send the soul to hell, which is God. We should be more afraid of God than of the evildoers. Said, neither be thou envious of the workers of iniquity. Now, what does that mean? In other words, you see you coming to church every day, and you have friends in school or in your family who don't go to church at all. They don't believe in God, they don't believe in anything, but they have good jobs, good cars, apparently good families, have money in the bank, and you that you're coming to church and praying to God every day, you don't have anything. So you start getting envious of them and say, God, how can they have all these things? They don't even know you, they don't even know you, they don't even pray to you, they don't worship you. How come? King David experienced the same thing. That was Psalm 73 verse 3. Because many of us do this. We get envious when we see our neighbors, friends. They don't worship God. They are driving in big cars. They have all the connections. And we that were serving God, we have nothing. Go on.
For I was envious of the boastful. When I saw the prosperity of the wicked.
You see? Go on.
For there are no plans in their death, but their strength is firm.
Yes.
They are not in trouble as other men, nor are they plagued like other men. Therefore, pride serves as their necklace.
I'm very proud.
Cover them like a garment. Their eyes are clothed with abundance.
Yes.
They have more than hearts could wish.
That's it. You see? So these are all the characters of the wicked. They're very proud. They don't care about anybody. They have all the money. It says, don't envy them. There's a proverb in Yoruba language that says that the foundation of wealth is what? Is like a curse, or what is behind the wealth that you see is something bad. It's something bad. In other words, you see these rich people, like in Nigeria, for instance, they're driving big cars, big houses. They have everything. But if only you knew how they got the money, you wouldn't want to be like them. Or if you knew their end. See? So, for they shall soon be cut down like grass and wither as the green herb. So we must not envy the wicked who are prospering their way. You don't know whether they're going to sacrifice their children, or they're going to join a cult of money ritual, or kidnapping somebody. You see that man who kidnapped so many people and became a billionaire in Nigeria from kidnapping people. So don't envy them. You don't know the source of their wealth. And more importantly, you know where they're going, which is hellfire. See? No amount of money can make a child of God go to hell. This is what God is telling us. That successful person you are looking at, that famous person, if you knew their end, many people have seen Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston in hellfire. Many testimonies. So whilst Michael Jackson was on this earth, everybody wanted to be like him. All the youth wanted to be like him. He was so famous, so successful, everything was. But now he's dancing the same thing he's dancing in hell. Whitney Houston, the same thing. All these big people. So we must not envy them, because we don't know how they got there, and we know for sure where they're going to go if they got there with godly means. Say, trust in the Lord and do good. That's what you and I are supposed to do. Just trust in the Lord. The little you have, the Bible says the little a righteous man has, is more than the wealth of the wicked. The little you have, trust in the Lord, do good, so shall thou dwell in the Lord, and verily thou shalt be fed. If you trust God with what you have, He will meet all your needs. You will not lack anything. Okay, what is the point you have in all these billions? You have a house, 50 bedrooms. You have 20 cars. You have airplanes, all these things. Well, me that I don't have that, what's the difference? You can only sleep in one room in the night. Even though you have a 50-room house, you can't sleep in 2 rooms, right? Okay, you have 16 cars, 20 cars, but at one time, you only need 1 car. You can't ride in 2 cars. So the rest is excess. So all these people that accumulate all this wealth, they forget that one day they're going to leave the wealth here on this earth. Say, naked, I came from my mother's womb, and naked I will return. That's what Job said. They are not going to take a penny away from this earth. That's why Christ said, use the wealth you have to prepare for yourself a mansion where you're going. Give it to the poor and the needy. Use it to help others. By doing that, you are building the house where you're going to go when you leave this earth. But you keep on accumulating, and the day you die, all the people who didn't suffer for you, they're just the ones, they just squander your money. That's it. And you can't do anything about it. But we are supposed to trust in the Lord for everything we need. Just trust Him. And you shall dwell in the land, and you shall be fed. That was, you will not lack any good thing. As long as you're trusting in God, paying your tithes, obeying Him, you will never lack any good thing. It says, delight thyself also in the Lord. Delight thyself also in the Lord. And He shall give thee the desires of thine heart. Now, what does that mean? Delight thyself also in the Lord. It means do what the Lord wants. What does the Lord want? If you know what the Lord wants, you have to read His Bible. Read His Bible, obey His commandments, follow the Lord, do good to fellow human beings. Then He will grant you the desires of your hearts. So what actually are you looking for? All you have to do is follow God as much as you can. Read His word, worship Him, do good to fellow human being, obey His commandments, and that thing you're looking for, He will give it to you. That's exactly what I meant by seek ye His kingdom and His righteousness, and all the other things will be given to you. Let's go to Isaiah 58:14, Psalm 55:22. Isaiah 58:14, Psalm 55. Yes, 22. That's what it means to delight yourself in the Lord, is to seek His kingdom and His righteousness. Be holy, be pure before Him. Lead a holy life, obey His commandments, read His word, pray to Him, worship Him. Even without your asking, God will grant you what you want. One?
And one shall say, if it's hope, prepare the way, take the stumbling block out of the way of my people. For so said the high and lofty one, who inhabitants eternity, whose name is holy.
Yes. Is that 58:14? Or Psalm 55:22?
No, that is Isaiah.
Okay, 58:14. All right. How about Psalm 55:22?
Okay. Cast your burden upon the Lord.
Yes.
And He will sustain you. He will never allow the righteous to be shaken.
That is it. He will never allow you to be shaken. As long as you're casting your care for Him, trusting Him, and giving all your problems to Him rather than yourself. You know, many of us, we think that we're giving our problems to God, but in fact, we are still carrying them to Him. We haven't left them at His feet. There's the story of a woman who, she was carrying a huge load of firewood in Nigeria, and somebody driving along the truck felt so much pity for her. I said, this elderly woman, how can you carry such a heavy weight? And he stopped. He said, Mama, where are you going? I'm going to the market. I said, okay. Just step in there at the back and sit there, and I'll carry you there. Felt so much pity for her. And then, as he was driving on, he looked to the back of the mirror and saw this elderly woman seated, but the load was on her head. She was still carrying the heavy load. I thought, oh my God. I stopped for this one to help her, that she would put the load down, and we'll take her to the market, but she was still carrying it, even though she was in the car. This is what many of us do. We think we could, but we have not given anything to God. When you give something to God, it's like you just cast it at His feet, throw it. Say, Lord, that's it. This is no longer my problem. This is your problem. This thing that's worrying me, I give you this worry. Lord, take care of it. There's a story in the Bible of a king, King Hezekiah, when the Assyrians came to attack him. I think it's Isaiah 32. And they threatened him, they're going to kill him and all this stuff. And you know what this king did? The letter they wrote to him, to threaten him, he took it to the altar of God and laid that altar. In fact, Isaiah 37. verse 14, right? Verse 14. Start from verse 14. Mm-hmm. This king of Syria wrote a letter that was going to kill them, make them drink their urine, all these things. He wrote it and gave to the king of Judah. Read it. Isaiah 37 verse 14. Maybe I read it. And Hezekiah received the letter from the hand of the messengers and read it. And Hezekiah went up unto the house of the Lord and spread it before the Lord. See? He took that letter written to threaten him, to intimidate him. He didn't keep it with him. He took it before the altar of the Lord and spread it before God. Almost as if God was there reading that letter with him. And Hezekiah prayed unto the Lord, saying, O Lord of hosts, God of Israel, that dwellest between the cherubims, thou art the God, even thou alone, of all the kingdoms of the earth. Thou hast made heaven and earth. Incline thy ear, O Lord, and hear. Open thy eyes, O Lord, and see, and hear all the words of Sennacherib, which had sent to reproach the living God. Now what this person threatening me is not me threatening, it's you, because we're your children. Imagine you have a child and somebody's threatening your child. You are the one that's going to answer them. You won't say, oh, no, that's against my son or my daughter. No, it's against you. You are the one that's going to fight for them, right? It says, of a truth, Lord, the kings of Assyria have laid waste all the nations and their countries and have cast their gods into the fire, for there were no gods, but the work of men's hands, wood and stone. Therefore they have destroyed them. Now therefore, O Lord our God, save us from his hand, that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that thou art the Lord, even thou only. Now as God, stand up and prove yourself that we belong to you. Let these enemies know that we serve God Jehovah. Prove your strength. Prove yourself on our behalf. That's what was challenging God. So after all, we're your children, and you're the God of heaven and earth. How can somebody come and threaten us? Let them know who you are. Okay? See what happened? Then Isaiah the son of Amos sent unto Hezekiah, saying, so the Lord answered that king's prayer through Isaiah. So whereas thou hast prayed to me against Sennacherib king of Assyria, and see what happened at the end. It says that, therefore, so verse 36 says, in response to Hezekiah's prayer, said that the angel of the Lord went forth and smote, killed in the camp of the Assyrians 185,000. That's almost the population of the whole of Winnipeg. 185,000. And when they arose early in the morning, behold, they were all dead corpses. In response to Hezekiah praying to God and casting that problem at the altar, he laid the letter in front of the altar. He said, God, this is your problem. This is not my problem. They threatened me, but it was actually you they threatened. Now, rise up and do your work. And he went to bed. He wasn't worried. So what's the attack of tomorrow? What's going to happen? How my children? No. He was not worried. He just said, Lord, that's it, and went to bed. And the next, the angel went forth from heaven and killed 185,000 men. One angel. See? When you trust God, this is what happens. When you refuse to carry the problem, when you say, God, this is your, not me. I'm giving you this worry. I'm giving you this anxiety in my heart. Take it. You are my Lord and my Savior. I don't have to carry this. You'll see wonders happen because he would certainly say, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you. Take my yoke upon you. Take me and be blessed. I was not that lowly. My yoke is easy. My burden's light. Say, come unto me, all you that labor and heavy laden, I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me. I'm gentle and humble in heart. My yoke is easy. You find rest for your souls. That's our motto in this church at the front of the signboard. It Say, bring forth thy righteousness as the light, and thy judgment as the noonday. In other words, God will defend you and give the right judgment against your enemies.
Amen.
Say, rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. See, remember that. Say, rest in the Lord and wait patiently for him. There are two words there, rest and wait patiently. When you rest in the Lord, you are not fretting. You are not worried. You are in complete peace. Imagine you worrying about your money in the bank. Say, hey, I have no robbers who going to steal my money in the bank. Hey, you go and check the bank at 12 o'clock. Hey, at 1 o'clock you go there. I have nobody stealing my money. That will be totally foolish. If you can trust your money in the bank, why can't you trust the God of heaven that controls everything about your life? Why do we worry so much? Say, rest in the Lord. That means don't worry. And then wait patiently for him. Patiently means that God's time is not your time. Most of us want our answers like yesterday when we pray. I've been praying for 2 weeks and God hasn't answered my prayer. Who are you? Who are you praying against God and saying that God hasn't answered my prayer? Do you realize you're talking to the God of the universe? The sovereign God? The person that can take your life away in 1 second? We cannot time God when we pray to him. We can only pray and wait for him. At his right time, he would answer our prayers according to his own timetable, not according to our own timetable. Because he is God and we are human. We cannot start timing God and say, oh, God has answered my prayer. Do you know that Abraham waited 25 years for Isaac? 25 years. And God told him you're going to have a son. The son did not come 25 years later. Another person gave a testimony that God told her at a meeting that this woman was barren. He said, you're going to have a girl. That's what the prophet told her. The girl came 10 years later. 10 years, and the girl is alive today, helping out the ministry. So we cannot time God. God will answer at his own time. And the best time for you and I. But the popular saying that God is never late. For us, it may appear late, but no, he's never late. He knows the right time to answer that prayer. All the experts should do is to walk in faith, believing that you've committed to God's hands, and he will do it at his time. Say, well, I've told God about it. I've told God about it, and God is going to take complete control. Don't keep on worrying. In fact, if you worry when you're praying to God, it's a demonstration of a lack of faith, and that will actually hinder your prayers. Say, fret not thyself because of him who prospereth in his way, because of the man who bringeth wicked devices to pass. You see all these witches killing people, causing accidents, bloodshed, destroying people's lives, these barriers. Don't think they're going to get away with it. Don't say, nothing's happened to them. Oh, believe me, if you know where they're heading for, you won't say that. In hellfire, witches are actually made to eat their own flesh and drink their own blood. Because that's what they were doing on the earth. They're eating human flesh and human blood. So they're forced to do that when they get to hellfire. So it's a very important message for us tonight. That we should not fret, not worry, or be anxious about the evildoers or about those wicked people who prosper in their ways, who seem to be doing good, who seem to be doing well, when actually they're evil people. Believe me, their day is coming. If you go to that same Psalm 73, you see that King David, he experienced the same thing. Then at the end, Psalm 73, let's go there. I'll read it. Okay. It says, and it describes the life of these wicked people. Then it continues. And verse 22 says, so foolish was I and ignorance. I was as a beast before thee. Nevertheless, I'm continually with thee. Okay. Then, verse 27 says, for lo, they that are far from thee shall perish. Thou hast destroyed all them that go to a whoring from thee. Verse 18 says that when I thought to know this, I wanted to know why these wicked people are prospering. It says, verse 16 says, when I thought to know this, it was too painful for me. Until, verse 17, I went to the sanctuary of God. Then understood I their end. See? Then understood I. So before he came to the church, before he came to the temple of God, his mind was troubles. He couldn't explain why the wicked were prospering. He was envious of the wicked. His mind was in turmoil. He had no rest, no peace. Until he came to the house of God. And then, see what happened. That surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou casted them down into destruction. How are they brought into desolation? As in a moment, they are actually consumed with terrors. That was it. God answered him and gave him peace. Say, you've been worrying about so and so. Let me show you that person's end. But he only found it in the grace of God. See? So this is a very important message for all of us, because most of us worry about so many things you shouldn't have to worry about. Just trust God, seek God, obey him, do what pleases him, and even without asking, because God knows your needs. You don't have to tell God. Don't think that prayer is telling God. No. Prayer is simply a communication. God knows what you need even before you pray. So you're not trying to convince God. No, he already knows. The reason why you pray is to commune with God, to give him an opportunity to talk to you. It's fellowship. Imagine having a dad, and you're living in your dad's house, and you don't speak to your dad. But your dad knows what you need. You don't have to tell him. He knows you need money to eat, you need for transportation. He knows all these needs, but you never bother to talk to him. Do you think he'll be happy with you? He won't be. No. You need to commune with your dad and talk to him and say, Daddy, hello, how are you this morning? Oh, how are you doing? And he will ask you as well, how's your work? How are you doing? That is what he'll be happy about. He wants to have fellowship with you. The same with God. If you refuse to pray, we are saying, God, we don't care about you. And God will not be happy. He wants to hear from his children regularly. And there's nothing too small. Don't think that you have to go to somewhere and kneel down and pray. No, as you're walking along the street, you can be praying to God. Say, Lord, have mercy upon me. Give me your presence. Give me your joy. Make me more like you. Oh, Lord, give me rid of my enemies. Make a way for me where there's no way. You don't have to. No. As you are praying, you are communicating with God. And God is hearing. The Bible says that God is everywhere. He is closer than even next to our mouth. See, the servant of Abraham, he sent Abraham to find a wife for his son Isaac. And that servant, when he got there, said, God, I don't know who to pick in this town. I don't know anybody in this town. And they sent to pick a wife for Isaac. He said, this is what I want, God. This is how we'll know the person I'm going to pick. If this woman comes and says, oh, I'm going to give you water because it's desert, it's very hot. I'm going to give you water and also water your camels. It says, I will know that is the girl, the bride for my master's son. And the Bible says that even before he finished speaking, Rebecca appeared and said, oh, I'll give you water and water your camels. I said, I haven't even finished praying this prayer. What is this? That shows how fast God is in answering prayer. He had not even finished the prayer where Rebecca appeared. Exactly what he was praying for, Rebecca fulfilled the condition, and Rebecca became his wife. So don't think God is far from you. He's not. He's not. Many things I just say, God, please help me. I don't know how to solve this problem. Please guide me. And within 5 minutes, God answers me. I have the faith he will answer me, so I don't have any doubts. I pray, Lord, as I'm walking along the street, Lord, show me the way. I don't know where to park. Please give me a parking space. And 3 minutes later, something opens up. I know God has me. See? So you too have to have that kind of faith. He's your heavenly Father. He's ready to supply your needs. So you have not because you ask not. In the book of James. And when you ask amiss. You ask for the wrong reasons. Oh, I want to have a Mercedes like my friend has a Mercedes. What will the Mercedes do for you? Eh? Oh, you see? For the wrong reasons. Not because they're going to use Mercedes to carry people to church. No. You want to be younger and be like everybody else. That's why you want a Mercedes. God says no. I'm going to answer that prayer for you.
James.
Yeah? The book of James says, you ask not because you have not, because you ask not. One, you don't pray to me. That's what he's saying. You don't ask me. You are just solving all these problems on your own. God says, you need to ask me. Ask me. Then I'll feel happy to help you. You think God doesn't know you have problems? Of course He knows your problems.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
James 4.
Yes, read it.
James 4,
Yeah.
verses 1 to 5.
Okay, can I read it for us? James 4, 1 to 5.
He said, what is the source of quarrels and conflicts among you?
Yes.
Is not the source your pleasures that wage war in your members? You lust and you do not have. So you commit murder, and you are envious and cannot obtain it.
Yes.
So you fight and quarrel.
Yes.
You do not have because you do not ask.
That is it.
Then when you ask and you do not receive, because you ask with wrong motives,
That is it.
so that you may spend it on your
You're
own
lost. You're lost. See?
So you adulteresses, do you know that friendship with the world is hostility towards God?
That's it.
Therefore, whoever wishes to be a friend
Of the world is an
makes
enemy.
himself an enemy
of God. For instance, you might say, oh Lord, I want you to give me an SUV. And God knows that SUV you want to have is because your friend has the same thing, not because you want to use it for His kingdom. If you say, Lord, give me an SUV that can take people to the church, help those who don't have cars to come to the church, believe me, God will answer that prayer very quickly because He sees your heart. But if you say, I want an SUV because my friend has an SUV, God will say that SUV will kill you. A car accident, I'm not going to give it to you. But if you say, Lord, give me, I want this thing, so that I can quickly will answer. So God wants communion with you and I. He wants us to talk to Him. Prayer is very important. Jesus Christ was the number one prayer warrior on the earth, and there was the one that needed not to pray most because He was the one giving all power in heaven and earth. But it was the one that prayed most. Why? Because he knew the importance of fellowshipping with God. It's in terms of prayer, God will speak to you. Prayer is not one way. Many people think it's just one way. Oh, Lord, give me this. Oh, Lord, give me that. No. They're making mistaken. In prayer, you commune with God as if you're sitting next to God and say, Lord, how are you today? Say, I'm fine. How about yourself? You know, that's the way prayer should be. One on one, like that. As you're speaking to God, God is answering you in your spirit. You might not hear physically, but He's answering you back. Many ideas I've had is through the time of prayer. Suddenly it just occurs to me. See? So we need to be like that. We don't need to waste our time worrying about the devil, worrying about that. No. Committing God and trusting is able to take care of you. The Lord bless you with the words. Amen.